It's What the Flick, everybody. Ben Mankiewicz, Matt Atchity, Alonso, Duralde. Christy couldn't be with us today. Steven Soderbergh. It's been a great career. I'm sure you'll never, ever again direct another film, just like you said.
Ever.
I actually, I don't mean to belittle him. I sort of admire his reasons for retiring, even though, what's the
I'll
point?
believe it when I see it.
Right, but it's okay. Whatever. You're allowed, you know what? There's a movie.
Right.
You're allowed to unretire. It's fine.
It's true.
It's fine.
He's going to be in that same retirement home with Anthony Hopkins.
Right, totally. That's right. All right, so identity thief. I mean, side effects. Jesus.
Let it go.
Side effects, identity has been stolen by identity thief in your mind. So side effects, I don't want to give too much away here. If you've seen the trailer, you know that part of the story involves a woman played by Rooney Mara who suffers from depression and is put on a medication treatment by Jude Law. Channing Tatum stars as Rooney Mara's husband. Catherine Zeta-Jones plays a therapist who saw her previously to the events shown in the film. I don't want to say anything else, except that people should go see this.
I want my life back!
You know I'm not crazy. Everyone knows everything.
Em, are you awake?
Destroy that before it destroys you.
It is next to impossible to talk about this movie,
Right.
without giving away the goods.
It has there's twist after twist. after
Don't
twist.
see. You can't even say that.
That's already been said. She was on talk show. She was on Conan talking about twist.
Okay, here's what we can talk about. The movie starts out setting you up to think that it is going to be a certain kind of film, or one of several certain kinds of films. On the one hand, you have Channing Tatum is just coming back from prison, where he's been for insider trading.
40 years.
And so Rooney Mara has obviously been dealing with all that stuff, and even with him coming home, her depression seems to be getting worse, and so that becomes an issue. So the movie partially seems to be about, the times we live in and the financial crisis and, mood-altering drugs. To the point almost where I started thinking, did Tom Cruise write this?
Right, because there's a moment where, every problem we have, just go for the quick fix.
Yeah, you
drug.
feel like it's going to be this sort of Jeremiah about antidepressants, and then it also kind of sets it up being there's a great phrase that. About the spectacle of a woman losing her mind. That there's so much of art, of theater and opera and movies and television have been about women going crazy. And this seems to be it's going to be another woman going crazy movie. And then it isn't. And I don't want to talk about what it then becomes, or we're not going to talk about what it becomes.
I want to say
it is brilliant at making you think it's going to follow path A, and then woof, it goes off to path E instead.
Right. I want to say that we all really enjoyed this movie.
Yes.
And I would recommend this very highly. And I would say that your best bet is to stop watching this review.
Don't read any reviews.
Look at the score. The score on the site is 84%. All our scores are pretty high. I would recommend this is a movie that really rewards knowing not very much about it. The less you know going into this, I think the more rewarding this film is going to be.
I'm going to talk about the things I didn't like about it, of a movie that I liked very much, and I think I can do it without betraying anything. I didn't like anyone in the movie, even the people you're supposed to like, and I felt strongly about that.
I think that's okay.
I felt like I changed allegiances a lot.
That's interesting. I mean, I wish I'd sort of felt that way. I guess yes, there is some changing of allegiances, but in the end, the people you're supposed to like, I wasn't fond of, and it didn't feel. I didn't feel that the behavior of that character was consistent with what we'd been led to believe about that character.
We interviewed Jude Law, and he says that, as he was reading the script, he asked Soderbergh, is he supposed to be a good guy or a bad guy? And there's a gray area there, which I really like.
Yeah, I love a gray area. I live life in a gray area. But I didn't.
A gray shirt, at least.
That one, that part bothered me. And then the way, as so often, and we've talked about this many times, then at the end, and without giving one thing away, at the end I sort of felt like, oh man, I think there were easier ways to solve the problem than the very dramatic ways that they ended up solving the problem.
I thought it was very satisfying.
I mean, because there have been movies recently where, like, I remember when we were talking about Jack Reacher, it was like, this seems like a really elaborate cover-up for a very basic kind of, thing. This movie, it didn't. I don't know. It didn't strike me that way, but I can see where you might be coming from on that.
I felt like it. Yes, it did get very complicated, but I felt that in the end, it was extremely satisfying. I felt like. That's, I think, part of what I really liked about it.
I was not sad, and that's what I think I was headed for a score closer to you gave it a 9. I was headed for something closer to that, and then in the last 8 to 10 minutes, I thought, I started to get a little uncomfortable.
In any event,
yeah.
See this movie. Don't read any reviews.
That's right.
9. I love this movie. I can't recommend it highly enough.
I gave it an 8.1. Very solid. A lot of fun. I liked it a lot.
I gave it a 9.2 until the last 10 minutes, which lowered it to a 7.6. But most people, I think, will enjoy it straight through. So 8.2, we're highly recommending the movie this week that is not called Identity Thief.
Any movie that is not called Identity Thief.
Side Effects, 8.2. Thanks, everybody.